Hello and welcome to Bear Care Corner. My name is Andrea. I'm here in the medical room, I guess, medical suite somewhere else. And this is where we have all of our medical supplies. We have our on-site pharmacy, kind of everything we need for the care team to make sure that residents are staying happy and healthy. If you have any questions during the program, let me know in the comments and I'll be answering them live. For today's program, I'm going to be going through the Med Box, which is a key feature of care here on a daily basis with the animal care team. We have an AM box, which is the most robust. I'm going to go through that one. We also have a PM box. So the PM box would be any resident who has medications twice a day, which isn't quite as common. Usually medications are once a day, but it depends on what it is, what the species is. For example, birds often have medications twice a day because they have a super high metabolism. So they often end up getting something like meloxicam, which you would give your cat, your dog, your pig once a day. But for birds, that would be twice a day because they metabolize very quickly. So we're going to go through the AM Med Box. Hi, Gail. Hi, Jerry Lee. Thank you for tuning in. Hi from Hamburg, Germany. Long Island, New York. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Maine. Nice to see everyone. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. And today's episode is all about our Med Box, which is a staple here for the care team. We keep all of our medications for the day organized in these boxes. We have our on-site pharmacy here where we refill everything. And this is the box that's ready to go for tomorrow, which is my shift. So it's all set and ready. So when I show up in the morning, I'm pretty much grabbing this first thing here in the office, head to the barn. The goal in the morning is to get all the residents medicated right away, to see all the residents, see if there's been any issues overnight or anything, get caught up on notes, and do any treatments that need to be done. Usually medications are done first. So this is the inside of the box. You can see we keep everything very organized in these little baggies. Hi, Brooke from Seattle. Thanks for tuning in. And each of these baggies represents a medication for the resident. So this is refilled at the end of a shift. So I've already done that this morning. At the end of my shift, I've refilled this. Something we have in here is slippery elm. This isn't in individual baggies because it's just like a little supplement we give to the goats and sheep who are on long-term NSAIDs. Acts as a bit of a gastroprotectant for them. We're having an issue right now. The goats and sheep who have been on this, like Obama and Jeannie, they've been on it for years. And this helps their stomachs a bit because long-term NSAIDs like meloxicam can cause stomach issues. So this really helps. But we're having an issue with like Obama, Jeannie, pretty much everyone who's on this right now, the goats and sheep, not wanting to eat it. They typically love the taste. We usually put these in a Fig Newton. Like, for example, Obama gets 2 of these pills and a Fig Newton, eats it every day. And the last few weeks, I don't know what is going on, but nobody is taking these pills. So we're trying to get creative. The one morning I put it in bread instead, which didn't do anything. And then the one morning I opened up the pills and put it in a syringe. So we're trying to figure that out with our vet. But slippery elm is in there for the goats and sheep. Then we have a baggie just for Richard's flock. Bag in a bag. So all of the individual birds who are medications are in this bag. Their bag is separate because that group has something called ILT, infectious laryngotracheitis. We want to make sure there's no cross-contamination between coops and also with medication. So they have their own special medication bottles. Their baggie is sealed up a little bit more. So I'm going to talk about the birds that are on meds in this group. There's quite a few. That is the biggest flock. So a lot of them are on different medications. A lot of them are age-related issues. Hi, Mary from Northern California. Hope the weather is good there. Hi, Marilyn. Thanks for tuning in. If you're just tuning in, we are going over the Med Box, which residents are on which medications. So we have little Dorothy Chicken on meloxicam for arthritis. And same with Richard. So those are 2 individuals who are on pain meds for arthritis in that group. He's also on CBD oil. And if you knew that you could give chickens or other animals CBD. That's just to help. He's having some neurological issues as he's aging, so that is helping him with that. We have sage on meloxicam. We have all the information on the baggies with the resident's name, the medication, how much they're getting, and why they're on it. So when people are grabbing meds, or if I come in and somebody's made a med baggie and I didn't realize there had been an update or somebody had been added on to meds, it's really easy to quickly see, and you don't want to ever lose track of why you're giving somebody something. And Ginger's on something called Tributaline, which is a bronchodilator. She has a partially collapsed syrinx. A lot of big words there, but that means in chickens, the syrinx is kind of similar to the vocal cords. We're not sure why this happened, but she was really wheezy. We took her in for imaging, and it showed that her syrinx is partially collapsed, which there's no surgical intervention with, just the way it branches off. You can't put a stent or anything, but she's really doing well on this medication. She gets this twice a day in a little syringe. It's flavored. Apparently, it's custom compounded caramel flavor, so hopefully she likes that. Those are all of Richard's flock. They all live in Dolly's house, and they are all in this bag. There are baby wipes in there because Sage sometimes gets a dirty bum, and we clean her up when we're in there, so that just gives us everything we need to go when we visit that coop in the morning. We open up the coop, let them outside, give them their food, give them their meds, check on everyone, head count, making sure they're all eating and doing well and doing chicken things. Hi Sylvia from Montreal, great to see you again. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I was wondering about that Bad Batch of Slippery Elm. It's the same brand we always get. We actually had two different brands and we've tried both, so we're kind of stumped. So we're like, is it the pills or brand tastes different? I was wondering about that with the Fig Newtons too. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. I don't eat them. It's just something's going on this last week where they won't take the Slippery Elm in the Fig Newton. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Maybe I'll check back in my previous orders and see if there's any changes in ingredients or anything. So we're a bit stumped on that. We're trying to figure out even if there's another gastroprotectant, because there are other ones. This one's a very natural one for the goats and sheep. The pigs, there's a variety. They can get something called omeprazole. They can get something called Sulcrate, which I'm going to get into next. So that's all of the birds. And then there's Sunny in the other group. There's Sunny, Brian, and Prince all living together. She's on meloxicam. She went to the vet 2 weeks ago, and her mobility was looking a bit stiff. She's a bigger bird, and she's a bit older, so the meloxicam should help with her mobility. If she's moving more, that should help get the weight off as well, because there's only so much you can do for those bigger Cornish cross birds. Then we're getting into the pigs. So kind of clipped together are all the gabapentin for April's herd. In her herd, there is April, Brindle, Hercules, Mercy, and Tammy. And they're all on a variety of different medications. Tammy's not on medications right now, but she does get glucosamine. April, Hercules, and Mercy all get gabapentin as additional pain meds on top of their meloxicam. They all have pretty advanced arthritis, that whole group. Tammy has spondylosis, and April, Brindle, Hercules, and Mercy all have different levels of arthritis in different areas of their bodies. Hercules and Mercy, really on the front feet they're struggling with. April seems like the front feet, she's a bit overall stiff, and then Brindle and the hind end, really similar to Peggy. So they're on all kinds of different pain meds, which you'll see me go through. I think 50% of these bags are for April's group. Hi Shirley, thanks for tuning in. This is the Sulcrate that I mentioned. So anyone on long-term NSAIDs, you want to protect their GI tract. You want to make sure that they're not getting ulcers or any gastrointestinal issues when they're on a pain med for a length of time. So April, Brindle, Hercules, Mercy, and then Sammy from the other herd are all on Sulcrate. So they get that 1 hour before their meloxicam to make sure their stomach's coated and make sure the meloxicam isn't causing any GI issues, because it's a great pain med, but if you're taking something like that, if you're taking Advil or something like that, you want to make sure that you're careful with your gastrointestinal health. Fiona and Jolene. So they also have arthritis, but it's not quite as advanced. So they're only needing their pain meds, their meloxicam every 3 days. So I dosed them this morning. They're very excited because they get peanut butter sandwiches with their meds in it. And then they're going to get a dose again on October 17th. So every 3 days seems to be good for them. Less is better typically if they're not too sore, but if they do become more sore, then we will increase that. But increasing it does increase the risk of GI ulcers. My cat used to spit the medication back in my face. Yeah, medicating the residents can be its own challenge. We hide things in food. With the birds, we typically just direct syringe them. It's not guaranteed they'll always eat something in food, especially if they're not super food motivated. So we'll just put the syringe right in their beak and administer it that way if it's an oral medication. Same with pills. It's called direct pilling. If you have a cat or a dog, sometimes the vet will get you to do that. I was with them as well. Oh my gosh. Meloxicam, huge stack. So again, that group, April's herd, I think all of them are on. Let me check. April, Brindle, Hercules, Mercy, and then in the other group, Sammy, all on meloxicam for arthritis pain. That's a really standard one for vet med. Mercy and Hercules are on something additional called amantadine. They have quite advanced arthritis in their front feet. That's helping with the pain a bit. There's all kinds of different pain options, and we're playing around with them quite frequently to see if little changes or different pain meds or different combinations will suit them better, because they're all individuals and some things work better in combination with other things for certain individuals. Going back to the goats and sheep for a minute, there are 1 sheep, 2 goats on gabapentin. So they all have advanced arthritis. Meloxicam isn't quite doing enough for them, so they've been added on gabapentin, Obama, Genie, and Diablo. These we typically put in Fig Newtons. They're little pills, but again, we're struggling with that. Diablo ate his Fig Newton at midday because he gets gabapentin 3 times a day. These are actually all 3 times a day. It's one of the rare 3 times a day meds. Genie and Obama, I had to direct pill them because they weren't taking the Fig Newton. So that is a mystery that we're trying to figure out. It is the slippery elm, but that's also Fig Newtons generally, and those were like our go-to pill pockets. So we're trying to figure that out. We have another stack for the goats and sheep. Meloxicam, like I had mentioned. So quite a few of them are on it. Not all of them are on meloxicam and gabapentin because they don't necessarily need it. We have Gilbert here. He also has a cream for his sternum sore. That can be really tricky to treatment on because they're always laying on it. We've done bandaging, but sometimes the bandaging will cause issues underneath. So he has his meloxicam and cream for his sternum sore, which he got this morning. And then the rest of the goats and sheep on meloxicam: Genie, Obama, Diablo, Catherine, and Emma, and it's all for arthritis pain. So that's kind of our go-to, and you can tell the theme here is a lot of age-related. Majorities are actually age-related. I would say not age-related is Ginger with her tubuterline. The collapsed syrinx, the partially collapsed syrinx, is not due to age, but I think these are all age-related. We have quite an elderly population, and they're all needing a lot of medications. Escalade, pain meds for his back legs. He's experiencing some soreness, which is probably age-related. He is 22, I think. Bathing cats is no fun at all. Oh, there's quite a chat happening. Hi, Katie. Thanks for tuning in. Straight down Derry and Milton. I know where that is. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We're just going over the AM med box. Just to show you some of the residents, which meds they're on, how we kind of do everything in the morning. It takes about 1.5 to 2 hours to medicate everyone. And in that time, we're also doing supplemental feeding. So a lot of the goats and sheep who are elderly, who are the ones on meloxicam, are also usually the ones on supplemental feeding because as they age, they can experience like muscle wasting, difficulty keeping their weight on, especially if they have a disease like CAE, which is a wasting disease. So that is, Diablo has CAE, and so does Gilbert. I think there's at least one more. I don't remember off the top of my head. So yeah, if there's a wasting disease or if there's something else going on, then they get supplemental feeding. So they're getting fed in the morning and then released to pasture in this time of year to go eat grass. And not in too long, they will be on hay for the rest of the season when the grass is done and there's snow on the ground, which I don't want to think about too much right now. Again, Fiona and Jolene next October 17th because their meloxicam is every 3 days. Brindle, dexamethasone. He is getting his dose every other day, so he's due tomorrow. So that's additional pain meds for him. He's really struggling with his back end, hind end stability. That's really causing issues with him. Pigs kind of go either way as they age, and Peggy experienced something really similar. He's really long, so there's kind of a hinge point at the lower back where as he's walking, he's kind of pivoting a lot. He's been doing that his whole life, and that's been the area that's causing some spinal pinching. The pain is being managed really well, but he's still not able to stabilize himself super well all the time. So we're keeping a close eye on him and making sure he's getting his pain meds. And last thing, again, Hercules and Mercy, they're on phenylbutazone, which is another pain med. So we do have stacked pain meds for that group because of their various arthritic conditions. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. That was the med box. That was a med box episode. I'm going to put everything back in there, and I will be heading out 7 a.m. tomorrow morning to do all of those medications with everyone. I hope everyone got to learn a little bit today. It was nice to see everyone again. It's been a few weeks, and I hope you have enjoyed the rest of your day. I'll see you again next time. Bye.